open this session. Dr. Makori. He has to declare meeting into order before we start doing business here.
Thank you, Bwana MC. Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. Hey. This is not easy, guys. Thank you for coming. The Minnesota nice. Thank you for coming. Once more, Minnesota, wave, please, once more. Wave to our guests who have come from all over the world. Thank you for coming in such a large number. I'm excited. I'm happy beyond words to be here. And I want you, Minnesota, to allow me to declare this meeting officially open. Mumesema tufungue mkutano ama tusifungue? Asanteni sana, karibu sana. As I said, my name is Dr. John Makori. I'm the chair of the committee that was in charge of organizing this, and you guys have done me proud. Thank you so much. I'm proud of that. I had my co-chair that was here that at least I have to recognize him, Dr. Karanja, where are you? That was my co-chair for this particular moment. Very wonderful man. Thank you so much. So at this particular time, I really want to say thank you again once more. But above all, I just want to let you know that we have a man who has been in service for our country, a man who has served our country so diligently, a man who is a servant to the people, a man who has served in government, I think, more than 10 years when I was talking with him. And when I look at this crowd, you can't imagine what he's feeling at this particular moment. Dr. Kengo Matiang'i, Your Excellency, please feel welcome. This is home. You know, when you told me, you said that when you are coming home to listen, hug, eat. You know, you told me we have all kinds of food that is found back home. And you said that you will make sure when you come here, we prove you wrong. But I think we have shown you that we have all kinds of the food that we have, which is found back home in Kenya. Welcome to the great state of Minnesota. As we told you, Daktari, this is the Minnesota nice that you have seen. I hope you will give us an evaluation when you leave and let us know how we performed. Thank you so much. Before I continue, I know there are so many guests who have been honored to be here tonight. We have people who have come from all over the world. And this is really exciting to Minnesota. This was a moment for Minnesota. This was a weekend for Minnesota, guys. Thank you for what you have done. This is wonderful. So I really want to recognize them in a wonderful way so that they feel at home. We don't want to forget everybody. We have a team, I call it a lead team, an advanced team. Some people came from Wednesday just to make sure that everything is in order, everything is okay. I just want the DC team just to rise up so that you know them, so that they can wave. But this team is going to be introduced later by Professor Maruanga, but I just want them to stand and wave to the congregation. They have done a wonderful job. Wonderful job. Thank you so much. And then before I come home, you know, I will come home because you guys, you have done a wonderful job. I will also want to recognize those who have done a very wonderful job here back home. We had guests, we had media from all over from Kenya. If you are media from Kenya, you are from where, just wave to the congregation if you are there or you are covering, so that the people can know that you came from Kenya to cover this event. If there is a media from Kenya, but I think you have seen them. They have been here. They have been talking to you. They have been sharing with you, so you know them. I would like to mention some people who have visited us. We had people who came from all kinds of states. We have a group that came from Canada. If you know you came from Canada for this occasion, just rise up and wave, please. We want to recognize those people. And people came from Canada. I think last night I had people came from Canada. Okay, maybe they were there at the dinner, but they are not here today. We have people. We have a very wonderful Washington team. Where is the Washington team? Dr. Mbati, the chair, and Dr. Birisi, the treasurer. Where are you? Wave to the congregation. Thank you. God bless you all for gracing this occasion. We had the Colorado team, Dr. Gideon Mosetti, where you just gave wave to the congregation. We had a very powerful team from Texas. Where are you? Very powerful team from Texas. Wave to the congregation, please. Thank you so much. We had from the New Jersey team. Where are you? New Jersey? Last night we had people from New Jersey. If you can wave to the congregation. The Delaware team, are you here? I had some people from, during the dinner, there were people from Delaware. People from Maryland, the team from Maryland. Can you wave to the congregation wherever you are? Thank you so much. There are so many people from Maryland. The state of Virginia, if you are here, wave to the congregation too, if you are here from Virginia. California, where is Dr. Nyango? Wave to the congregation. Dr. Nyango here from California. Very wonderful man. Wave to the congregation. Thank you so much. If I forgot a state, you can remind me. This is a very cordial exchange that we have here. If you feel that we forgot a state, you can just rise up and say where you are from. Any other person from any other state that is here. Any Wisconsin? I think I've covered most of you. Thank you so much. So I come back home. You guys have done a wonderful job. I had a team that was working so hard to make sure that this event is a success. Please forgive me because we were so many of us. We had subcommittees. So if I don't mention your name, don't feel good. Don't feel bad, I mean, sorry. don't feel bad. Just know that you are with us, and we still love you, and we know we are going to be working together because there are people who are in small committees. Maybe the names have not reached me. But I will quickly summarize and mention those that I happen to get their names so that you know them and they will stand. If they are here, if they are very far, if they are here, I will even want them to stand here and look at you guys and wave to you guys. So I'll start with the list that I have here. I have a small list here. So I start with Dr. Karanja. Can you stand up, please, so that people can know you? And myself, Dr. John Makori. Dr. Bogongo, wherever you are, you should rise up so that people can see you. Professor Jeremiah Okari is the MC, so that people can look at you. Engineer Ben Kebuato, very wonderful man with engineering here with the Mitambo Upper. Thank you so much. We are blessed to have you. I will skip our holder representative because this is her home. But she was part of the team. Let her also just wave to you, but she will have a moment so that. Thank you. We had Mr. Ken Kibagendi, wherever you are. Well, you can wave to the congregation. Henry Momanyi, the mobilization guy, wave to the congregation. Bessie Mairura, wherever you are, wave to the congregation, please. Bessie Mairura, if you are here. Sorry. Dr. Chris Omari, wherever you are here. Our able treasurer, you guys, I know you have exchanged with him a lot. Honorable Joshua Isaboke, wherever you are, wave to the congregation. Henry Mogire, wherever you are, please, wave to the congregation. Mimi Waruguru, wherever you are, wave to the congregation, please. John Osumo, a very detailed man with security, where you wave to the congregation. He's outside. I think he's still working, yeah. But thank you so much. Dr. David Machoka, wherever you are, you can say hi and wave to the congregation. Thank you. David Ombuna, you are the MC. You can wave to our people here, wonderful people here. Our attorney Henry Ongeri, wherever you are, wave to the congregation, please. Thank you so much. Dorothy Ogega came all the way from Indiana. You know, she's always here, so we don't even say that she's from Indiana because she's always here. Wave to the congregation wherever you are. Our able chair lady of Mwanyagetinge, Roslida Nyaberi Place, just wave to the congregation. And then we have Esther Umbati, wherever you are, wave to the congregation, please. Onesimus Mutio, if you are here, wave to the congregation, please. Your presence was really, really, really high. Hakil Sotieno, if you are here, wave to the congregation. Your help was enormous. Emmanuel Rono, wherever you are here. Some people even were helping us through Zoom, so that was good. Lilian Otieno. Dr. Kefo Tiso, we don't even regard you that you are from Ohio. We regard you that you are a member of us. You are from Minnesota. Shem Nyangito, wherever you are, please say hi to the congregation. Shem Nyangito, wherever you are, thank you so much. Dr. Samogoro, wherever you are. Samogoro, where are you? Say hi to everybody, please. Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Mandi, our able vice, wherever you are, is Dr. Mandi here, or maybe still also doing media work. Peter Sora, wherever you are, please say hi to the congregation. Thank you so much. Susan Mavera, wherever you are. Susan Mavera, wherever you are, say hi to everybody. And then okay, and then we had many more people that I can't mention, but just know that you are appreciated, please. We can't mention it, but we really appreciate with what you have done. I also wanted to recognize the agencies. You did a wonderful job working with us, the security details, all those guys who did all this. This was really, really wonderful. What I want to do, I want you guys in a special way to clap and welcome our CS, to make sure that he feels at home, to make sure that we have welcomed him the Minnesota way. And then after this, I'm going to hand over to Professor Maruanga. He's going to come and introduce his team. Please, can we clap and at least clap for our CS and make sure that he feels that he's in Minnesota. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Professor Maruanga, please, you are welcome just to... Oh, Professor Maruanga is going to introduce the team later. So I'll hand over to my able MCs. Thank you all. God bless you all for the wonderful job you have done. Thank you. God bless everybody.
Thank you very much, John. This gentleman is great. If you didn't know the good part of this guy, he's been great keeping us busy all night. John, thank you. I'm sure the team appreciates you as well. So now that the meeting has been called to order, it's time for us to start talking. Okay? Okay. Okay, so we will try to go as fast as possible. So, Mrs. Cabinet Secretary, good to have you here. As you all noticed in our announcement, this is the Kenya We Deserve meeting, and the Cabinet Secretary is here, of course, to do the listening, and that's exactly what we've lined up here to do. So I won't go into details of, not give my speech, but I want to make sure that the people of Minnesota have a chance to talk so that the Cabinet Secretary can hear from them. But first, I want to take an opportunity to thank you, Mr. Cabinet Secretary, for the great work you've done for our country, for public service, but importantly, thank you for coming here to the great state of Minnesota. That is great. We truly appreciate that. And next, before you have an opportunity to talk to the people of Minnesota, it's important that I let you know who you are just about to listen to. These are great Kenyans. They come from all parts of the country, come from Nairobi, the cities across the country, and the villages across Kenya. Here in the great state of Minnesota, these Kenyans come from different professions. We have a lot who are in different industries, whether it's education, nursing, manufacturing, private businesses, and those. All of them have a desire to see a Kenya that is forward-thinking, that is competitive in the global market. And thanks to your great work in the country, the committee has agreed that we here in Minnesota don't have tribes. We have only one tribe, that is, we are Kenyans. And so in a moment, you're going to listen to different Kenyans from all walks of life, but we'll do also pay attention to what's happening at home, and in particular, the demonstrations that have been in the streets across the country by the young people who we've coined as Gen Z. And a few of them will be walking to stage to start the program, but before we do that, they did ask me to do one simple thing, to ask all of you to stand up for a minute silence in honor of the many young Kenyans who've died in the course of the struggle. Thank you. You may now be seated. The future of any nation lies on its young people. And we would like to take this opportunity to have the young people here. We have speakers who are going to speak. Where is Brenda? Come on. Collins, Lucky, come right on. Shiko. Come, the four of you quickly here. So these young Kenyans do pay attention closely to what's happening in the country. And I think it would be a mistake for us not to give them a minute so that they can share their experiences on what they see and what the young Kenyans ought to do in order to compete. I'm going to have the, hey, give the muziki kidogo wakiingia bana. Hey, this is our future. Come on. Muziki kidogo, boys. This is our future. Come on, guys. Hey. Ashiko. Sure. Okay, thank you, boys. So again, what we've had for the last 1 week, young people are telling us, the older people, we are not giving them a chance. I think here's a chance for them to share with the cabinet secretary what they see the Kenya should be. You want to go first? Oh, she's on the hot fire. Can we give a big hand so she can?
Hello and good evening, everyone. Thank you for welcoming me and giving me a space to talk today. My name is Shikonyoike, a journalist, change maker, and proud Gen Z. As a proud young Kenyan woman living in the US, I think about my motherland every day. Today, I want to talk about something deeply troubling, the alarming rise in missing persons cases in Kenya. It's heartbreaking to witness how this has become a routine. It feels like it's become a cycle now. We hear stories and we see faces of loved ones posted on social media and the news every week. We see families searching for answers and justice. However, oftentimes these stories end up in silence or tragedy. When will it end? As a young woman, I find myself thinking about the young women and girls who vanish. We've all seen the numbers of femicides rising. Behind each statistic is someone's daughter, sister, friend, cousin, niece, an individual who had dreams and a future ahead. This isn't just crime. It has surpassed crime. It's a national crisis. It's eroding public trust and sending an alarming message to us young people about our safety and how we matter. Dr. Matiang'i, I am calling to action. Kenya's leadership must prioritize finding the missing and preventing these tragedies from happening in the first place. I believe as a nation, we need a fully funded missing persons database to track cases in real time. There are families who are left waiting weeks or even months before any real progress is made. A database would help coordinate search efforts and prevent cases from slipping through the cracks. While Kenya doesn't currently have an active national unit dedicated to missing persons cases, I believe dedicating an investigation unit trained to respond immediately when an individual is missing is crucial. Also, as a woman, I come asking for stronger protection for women and girls. Too often, we are the ones affected by these disappearances and femicides. Stronger protections are about prevention and justice, ensuring anyone who harms another is faced with real consequences and that no family is left abandoned by the system. Above all, we ask for transparency and accountability. Kenya has long struggled with corruption, and this has shattered trust between citizens and administration. Families report missing loved ones, hoping to seek justice, only to be faced with silence, slow investigations, or cases that become forgotten and slip into the broken system. This can no longer be the norm. Transparency means keeping the public informed in every step. Accountability means prosecuting not just criminals, but even any official who fails to perform their job appropriately. Our government must reassure us as Kenyans that every Kenyan life matters. Without trust, we cannot move forward as a nation. Gen Z is watching, and we are ready to hold leaders accountable. We are also ready to stand behind those who lead with honesty and courage. We want Kenya to be a place where no one has to wonder if their case will be ignored because of corruption. I pray that one day Kenya can come together as a nation. God bless Kenya. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. Much better, thank you. I know we've been sitting here for quite some time, but it's good to still maintain the spirit, the energy for the purpose that we're here. Yesterday I heard somebody say, when we say Harambe, we say Formni. All right, so Harambe. All right. Our Honorable former CS, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, distinguished guests, our fathers, mothers, grandparents, and all Kenyans who are joining us today in various platforms, I want to say a warm welcome. It's a pleasure to have this moment to share meaningful conversation and reflect in how we can build the Kenya that we deserve. I would also like to say a thank you for the organizers of this event, for the work, investment that you've made, and also for the honor to stand here before all of you and to share with you a topic that I am so deeply passionate about and advocate for, and that is mental health. My name is Grenda. You can also call me Nyamoita or Nyaitondi. Today I stand before you not as an expert or a politician, but once again a lover of psychology and mental health and somebody that deeply cares for our nation and our people, and hoping that we can again build a Kenya that our people feel that this is the Kenya that we're meant to have. We live in a rich and opportune time, and yet it's marked by quite a silent suffering. Though we have unprecedented access to technology, which allows us access to information and awareness, our inner lives are hurting more than ever. This pain shows most clearly in the mental health of not just our young people, the young adults, as well as our elders. This pain oftentimes coincides with substance abuse, which is becoming not just a symptom, but an attempted remedy. Recent studies show that 1 in 4 Kenyans seeking outpatient care presents with a mental health condition. Most recent data from NACADA reports and reveals that 1 in 6 youth aged 15 to 24 regularly uses substances. These numbers represent real lives, those of our sons, of our daughters, neighbors, and our friends. And this is not just a Kenyan problem. This is becoming a global issue. To build a thriving Kenya, one that we deserve, we must invest in the minds of our young people. As one African proverb says, a child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. The young people suffer not only from social neglect, but from the emotional wounds that we too often fail to acknowledge. Substance use, isolation, disengagement, violence often mask deeper stories of unemployment, trauma, poverty, and abandonment. All of these are rooted in mental health crisis. When families, our leaders, and communities fail to care for the mental well-being of the young, the consequences echo far beyond them. We risk instability, fractured growth, and a lost generation. And with that, we also lose our future generations. To our candidate, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, I humbly ask, in what ways do you envision your presidency addressing the mental health concerns? What legacy do you hope to leave behind for this generation? Great leaders, such like Wangari Maathai, Nelson Mandela, and Julius Nyerere, were not only revered because they clung to power, but for uplifting others. They healed, and they built, and they empowered. Their names forever live on because they choose to serve. They chose to serve and not to uplift themselves. By placing mental health in the center of your campaign and leadership, you will not only be getting ahead of the curve, but you will be choosing to lead wisely. You will begin to heal a nation. Mental health well-being is not just a health issue, it's also an economic imperative. It's a social justice concern. It's also a national security priority. When our people thrive mentally, we educate better, we innovate more, we collaborate deeper, and we also love more fully. We stand at crossroads. If we neglect this issue in our clinics, our classrooms, and our policies, the price we pay is broken communities, stalled progress, and deepening despair. But if we choose to act now, we build a resilient, united, and hopeful Kenya. Lastly, I would like to say mental health is not just a personal issue, but it's also a leadership issue. And to be a great leader, I believe one must deeply care. Thank you for your time.
Because we are running out of time, I think it would be disrespectful to cut the girls short, because they're boys, they can take it. So I'm going to put them under pressure. Is that okay? Put them a little bit under pressure to prove the men who just quickly summarize this.
Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to be here tonight by fellow Kenyans. I always wondered, why did we choose to live in this cold state of Minnesota? I know Dr. Fred has not experienced snow the way we have, but it is a wonderful time to be here. I'd like to introduce myself to all of you. My name is Collins Omweri. I immigrated here to America when I was about 3 or 4 years old. My family came here with nothing but a dream and a passion to live the American dream. But the biggest challenge that I'm seeing in this room is we have been so caught up on this American dream that we are neglecting the resources, the knowledge, and the impact that we can bring back home in Kenya. Yes, we might be going out there and sending money back home, but there is much more that we are able to do. We have knowledge, we have experience. Yes, we might be educated, but in the ever-changing world right now with AI, with all these different enhancements, the school systems are not able to teach things fast enough. Me and every single person in this room have skills, knowledge, and methods that can go out there to help people back home in Kenya. So my plea tonight for everyone in this room, and for you, Doctor, can you enable ways that people back here in America are able to connect with the youth back home, to not only send money, but to mentor, to guide, and to teach every single Kenyan back home, as we are powerful. And when we can come together and help people back home, we can build a stronger and better Kenya.
Good evening, everybody. I didn't know I was speaking today, so I just made something off the top of my head, and hopefully it can reach you guys to the hearts and to the minds of every single person in this room. Today, I always bring all my speeches back to the Bible in some way, shape, or form, and the chapter I want you guys to read on your free time or even right now is John chapter 6. And if you guys read it, if you guys know what that is, it's about the youth. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I want the youth's voices to be heard. When we read that chapter, we see that there was a young boy who solved the problem of 5,000 people not being fed. And when we were looking at that story, you start to notice, like, the people that are around Jesus every single day, the people that are with him at every given moment of life, they didn't believe in him. They didn't think that the solution could be solved. But all it took was the willingness and the hope that one young boy had to change the lives of everybody around him. And my fault. And a phrase that I always struggled with understanding was, the older people always tell us we're the future, and that's not necessarily true. When we look at it on a monolith type of level and looking at every single person that's here right now, the youth are actually the now. We have the opportunity and availability to be able to change things now, and not 10 years down the line, not 20 years down the line, but actively affect the people around us in this given moment. There's some also problems that we have also when we're talking about the challenges that we face in order to be able to grab leadership roles and all those type of things. And some of the roles that we do, some of the things we do have challenges when we're facing is lack of mentorship. We were talking about this about a month ago. We had a certain Matiangi that we were going through and everything like that. And a bunch of us younger guys, we had lack of mentorship to be able to walk us through how we should be able to maneuver and operate in moments of sadness, moments of happiness, and we weren't entirely sure. So I really do plead that we be able to strengthen and bolster up the young men, young women also, to be able to step into these roles confidently and not be ashamed of the things that are in front of them. I know you guys, some of you guys might not like these ones, but the gatekeeping as an older community. A lot of times, you know, we always are told to trust our elders, believe in our elders, but sometimes the solutions that we have as young adults not only can be the full solution, but also can be the spark that lights the fire under the real solution, I should say. And again, I plead that we also allow this spark to be able to be lit under the wind and also be able to be inflamed even more and more as we go on as a community. And I have one more thing as well. I just got to find it, my fault. And also I plead, Doctor, that you be able to entrust the youth, even though they might be inexperienced, to be able to help other people around them and be able to also stand firm as well too. So I thank you for spending your time to come through right now. And we're always going to remember this as an event that strengthened the people around us as well too. So thank you once again for that. Appreciate you.
One big round of applause for these young people. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. We would have loved to have so many Gen Zs speak. Quite frankly, there are some who are waiting here to talk, but because of time, please understand that we don't have time, but we do appreciate you. Hopefully in events going forward, we'll be able to include all of you. Thank you very much. So we move on. Let's listen also to another section of Kenyans and friends of Kenya. It's not just Kenyans among us. That's here are many friends who have become part of our families. So I'll first two ladies, and then I'll have two gentlemen. From there, we'll look at the watch and see what it is. Let's see how we go with this one. So see here, these are my friends. They've talked a lot, so it's okay. I'm going to skip you. Please don't feel very bad. Let's begin with Lila Natino. Yes, if you could. As you do so, Janet Kitui, be ready as well. I think I'll be unfair. Nalima here. Nalima is here. Quickly, 2 minutes, please, so that we move fast, if you could, please. Okay. Janet, ready? Nalima, ready? And then I'll go 3 gentlemen, 2 minutes each. We move on. Okay.
Good afternoon. Oh, I think one of the Gen Z said you can do better than that. Good afternoon. It's a very tall order to come after the Gen Zs. I was just telling Pastor Zipporah Bogonko, I was like, I don't think I want to go right after these guys. So please give them another round of applause. I think they were fantastic. As has been introduced, I wear a lot of hats. I'm sure I know a lot of you here. My name is Lilian Otieno. And I think one of the hats, let me tell you the hats that I wear, and then I'll tell you where my remarks are coming from. So I'm a mother, a daughter, a sister. Of course, that is what I'm absolutely proud of. One of my hats is I'm the president of the Association of Kenyans in America. Gosh, this light is so bright. So how many are familiar with AKIA? Yes, you are. I know Matiangi is the largest organization, Kenyan organization here. Professor Dr. Matiang'i, welcome to Minnesota. Welcome. As has been said, there's a lot of us who are working in different sectors here in Minnesota and, of course, creating a lot of impact. So like I've said, and I'm sure you perhaps have been briefed, we do have a lot of Kenyan organizations here. We represent various areas geographically in the country. But some of us decided to come together and bring all these organizations together in what we call Minnesota Kenyans Association. So to speak with one voice and to look at areas that bring us together. So it is still a work in progress, but I'm proud to say that a lot of those leaders are here. Roslida Mwenyagetinge, president, is here. Onesmus is here. Representative Hillsley was a member of that, and I'm sure there's a lot of other leaders here. Dr. Karanja Caucus is with us as well as other folks here. But today, the hat that I'm going to be wearing or talking about is where I work. Currently, I work at the Minnesota Department of Agriculture. That is a state agency. I work at the Commissioner's Office. And at the Commissioner's Office, I am the director of the Emerging Farmers Office. This is a new office, and we believe that it's the first of its kind at state government level in the country. Yeah, you can clap. So Minnesota is leading the way in addressing equity in agriculture. So, Dr. Matiang'i, what has been happening is Minnesota agriculture is really known for a lot of the commodity agriculture, corn, soybean, wheat, hogs, and so on. What we realized was we have farmers who would like to participate in Minnesota's ag economy. And these are small-scale farmers. And within these small-scale farmers, we have immigrants. We have people from other countries, new Americans, so to speak, right? Who want to also participate in Minnesota's ag economy. So what did the Department of Agriculture do? We decided to go around the state and talk to folks and ask, what are some of those gaps? What are some of the issues that are impacting you or not allowing you to participate in Minnesota's ag economy? And long story short, that is how my office came to being, and that is how I was hired into this role. So the foundation of what I do is relationship building. I now have 2 staff members. One concentrates on grants, and why is that? Because we found that access to capital is a big hindrance for a lot of farmers. And the reason why I'm saying these statements is because this is synonymous to what is happening back home. A lot of small farmers do not have access to capital, okay? So that is just similar to what's happening here. That would be a great benefit to find ways to create these financial opportunities that would allow small-scale farmers to also participate competitively in Kenya's economy, but also the same way we're doing that here. One of the other things that I want to talk about or briefly mention, because I know my time is coming up, Kenya's agriculture contributes to about 33% of our GDP and employs about 70% of our rural population. However, this population will be increasing to about 81 million in 2036. At the same time, our agricultural lands are decreasing to what I choose to call concrete jungles. A lot of us here, if you own a plot, what do you think of first? You want to build something so that you can rent, so that whatever. Now, my plea to you, sir, is I think it would be important, like what we are trying to do here, to try and designate some lands that are strictly agricultural. That goes into zoning as well, okay? And on top of that, I think it's important to promote agriculture beyond just having universities and agencies. We need to start teaching agriculture from a young age and letting our children know that it is a viable economic opportunity. Let's stop demonizing agriculture as the poor man's job. Who hasn't eaten here today? We all eat, correct? Right. So that is important for us to start teaching from a young age that there is a career in agriculture. But I think that goes in tandem with making sure that we have resources that support our people to get into agriculture. I can say more, but I want to be respectful of my friend's time here and just say, for my office, I am happy to collaborate with you and with anyone else who is from back home. We have received a lot of guests from the Kenyan government. 2 weeks ago, we had folks from the Diaspora ministry together with my friend, Representative Hillsley, and we're discussing some matters that we could at least exchange ideas and in terms of labor, agricultural labor. But there are so many other opportunities we can work on. So my plea is, sir, as you continue this journey. I choose to stay apolitical because of my role. But at the same time, of course, development knows no party. We want to make sure that agriculture is center. Agriculture is given the right funding and the amenable infrastructure development so that our people can participate in that economy and then grow. I am happy to be a resource if you so choose and need me to be a resource, because if we win, we all win. Producers win, consumers win, and the environment wins. Thank you very much.
So I think what I'll do here, thank you. Sometimes when you prepare remarks and then you're under pressure to finish, that sometimes causes conflict, and especially when we have such a great resources. These are the kind of resources I think once Fred takes office, he will need this kind of connection. So please understand that very shortly we'll finish this year. But we'll summarize. As you come in, summarize please. But as we do so, I want to be fair to the guys as well. Mutio, Onesimus, Professor Tiso, please quickly as we finish here.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Janet Kitui, CS Matiangi, and esteemed guests of the Kenyan diaspora. Welcome. As I have already mentioned, my name is Janet Kitui. I'm a mother, a grandmother, and a proud constituent of Kenya. I currently serve as Director of Procurement at Normandale Community here in Minnesota. But today, I'm not speaking in my professional capacity. I speak as a concerned citizen with a deep love of our country, Kenya, and a growing sense of urgency. It is urgent because good governance is important. And the definition of good governance refers to the process and structures that guide political and economic decision-making, ensuring transparency, accountability, and inclusive participation for the benefit of all stakeholders. According to the World Bank, good governance is essential to creating an environment conducive to strong and equitable development. It is multifaceted concept that involves the effective management of public resources. And I'm going to pause there. Public resources need to be managed for the benefit of all. The protection of human rights and elimination of abuse and corruption. Without it, sustainable development is impossible. I'm going to share a personal story as I reflect on this. All right. Okay, I will summarize. We in the diaspora, we must demand better. All right. Thank you.
I like that part. Let's support one another. It's because all of us want to talk to Dr. Fred. So please, I'm going to hold the mic so that they saw. Okay? So please, Professor Otiso Mtio. And again, we want to make sure that all faces of Kenya were represented here so that we're not biased in any way. So you want to come here? Professor Otiso, quick, and then Onesimus, quick here, and we should be good from there.
All right. Good evening, CS Matiangi. You're welcome to Minnesota. I'll keep it very brief. My name is Nalima Sitate Munene, and I'm very glad to be here. I am here just to talk very briefly about investments and opportunities and how we can build business. We all know that the diaspora supports the country in the sending our remittances, and I just want to talk about two main things that I believe we can do to boost that. One of the things that we need is we need to streamline the infrastructure through which we can send remittances. And I think one of the areas of opportunities right now, we send remittances to support individuals, our family members. We need a way where if we can build infrastructure bonds and we can build bonds and channels where we can build our own infrastructure instead of sending individual dollars, where we can build road systems and have a way through which the diaspora can invest in our own infrastructure back home, that will help to boost our economy. The second thing I really want to talk about is about capacity building. We have a lot of skills and knowledge, and we need to think about how diaspora-led initiatives can be harnessed and channeled to provide training and mentorship programs for our young engineers, scientists, and entrepreneurs in our countries back home. The very last thing I will say, and this is for Gen Zs, stop asking for permission. You need to step into your place. You are more than enough, and you have what it takes. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's have Professor Otis is a professor. Let's see how he summarizes this stuff.
Collins, can you please give me the pictures? Guys, I'm showing you 4 pictures that have something to do with us as diasporans, okay? Very, very quickly. So this is a map of where the growth of the diasporas are globally, 535,000 as of 2020 according to this database. This is where they live very quickly, globally. Remember, I'm saying this about voting in a second. Please give me a second, okay? I'm moving very, very quickly. These are the countries where we have most Kenyans abroad. The only difference here, you don't see the Gulf region that has been growing very, very rapidly in recent days. I wanted to come here very quickly. This is where you are in the United States, okay? By state, and the blue dots are showing you cities, metropolitan areas. You can see Minneapolis up there, you know, metropolitan area. And by states, you can see Minnesota here is second to Texas, okay? Minnesota, jipigie makofi. So that is how the numbers stack up. I already told you that. I'm moving on. By metropolitan areas, I wanted to show you this one. You may not be able to read it very quickly. Where is Minneapolis? Number 1. Minneapolis metropolitan region. 13,000, followed by Dallas, followed by Seattle, and all the others as you see here, very quickly. This is metropolitan Minnesota alone, Minneapolis alone. We can go up to the tract level, but we can even map a neighborhood. We know where you stay, okay? Don't worry, nobody's coming for you, but you contribute to the economy. But the reason I'm showing you this map is very quick. Any dark spot here, you should be in leadership. Any dark spot, okay? So places like close to Elk River, Brooklyn Park, you know what we have already done. Bloomington, you know, East St. Paul, anything where you see dark brown, red, are places where we need to be in leadership. Let me talk about what we need. We need more consulates, and we need more voting centers, okay? Notice that whatever is red is where we have an embassy or a consulate. Most Kenyans actually live here in the middle, Midwest. And we have no consulate, we have no what? Embassy. So I'm asking the Kenya government now and the future Matiang'i administration, we need consulates at least in the first 8 cities. Yeah? Minneapolis, Dallas, Seattle, Atlanta, and on and on. Then, of course, other countries have done the same thing that we are saying here. We don't want taxation without representation. Dr. Matiang'i, you have seen that in Washington, D.C. You know that number plate. We need electoral inclusion, and of course in parliament. We need ways of sending money, and skills is what I'm emphasizing, promoting Kenyan diaspora products globally, and making sure that if we are empowered and we have 4 more channels, diaspora can do miracles for the country. Thank you.
Sorry, I do understand that we're under pressure to finish the program so the CS can talk, but please, we want to make sure the voices of Kenyans are listened to, and this young person will finish, and then we can probably hand over to the other side. Please.
Thank you. I'm not going to give a speech. I'm just going to mention 2 points. First point, welcome to Minnesota. This is the population that delivered the very first Kenyan-born Minnesota State Representative, our sister, Huldah Hillsley. And if you leverage on us, we can be able to work with you to make it happen. Number 2, the Kenya we deserve is a Kenya that will not treat us as a cash cow, is a Kenya that will give us an opportunity to participate in economic development, a Kenya that gives services to our people. Healthcare to our parents, education to our cousins and nephews and nieces, and an opportunity for our brothers to make a decent living, because whatever happens in Kenya impacts us directly. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, this is Onesimus. Onesimus, you want to say your name? Yeah. You.
Thank you. Onesimus Mutio, coming from Eastern Kenya, a member of Minnesota Kenyan Association. Thank you.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Again, apologies. We are trying to make sure that everybody has a chance to talk, but at the same time, we do understand the Cabinet Secretary has been here since yesterday. He had meetings from 6 in the morning all through. Please, there are many of you who prepared your speeches here. Please, just let's understand. Let's do the Minnesotan way for now. Let's post those speeches so that we can also have a chance to hear from him. If he lets us do so, then he could do that. But before we do that, I think it's in order for us to respect that what we've done here. We are the first one, not just Kenyans, but particularly here in Minnesota, where we've been able to elect one of our very own, Representative Huldah Hillsley. And I say this as she comes to the stage for a quick word. She knows the story goes way beyond. This is a jewel that we have. We must treasure this girl. Yes. I always tell her, as you listen, she needs to listen what I've told her in private. We need this girl, and she knows why I call her girl now, a representative. We need her have a second term. We need her in the Senate. We need her in Congress, because that's the only way we are going to have a say. And with that...
Thank you so much. I want to respect time, because we all came here to hear who? 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 Exactly. You didn't come here to hear me. You can find me at the Capitol. You can find me in Brooklyn Park. With that said, I want to quickly acknowledge my colleague, Representative Verning. Please stand up and wave. Can you wave? Thank you for coming. And really quickly, I had a speech, but I'm not going to say it because I want to bring up Dr. Fred Matiang'i so you can listen to him. To the committee, thank you so much. To my Gen Zs, my security protocol team, please wave. These are the guys who made sure that we were safe. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Let me tell you one thing. It is important that we understand the magnitude of what we have as a community, as a Kenyan community. Like Dr. Tiso said, Professor Tiso, we have numbers. But if those numbers can't produce results, they're just numbers. So as you are passionate about Kenya, also be passionate about here. Good governance requires participation of its people. And that means you have to take part in it, yes. It's your role to take part in it and participate in your democracy. With that said, thank you, Minnesota. This has been an amazing, amazing weekend. Thank you for everybody who gave and will continue to give. And thank you especially to His Excellency. I know he doesn't like titles, but we are so proud to have you here in the state of Minnesota. Dr. Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Thank you so much.
So, as I do so, welcome, Anthony. Meanwhile, let's recognize the presence of Anthony Kibagendi, a member of parliament from Kenya. Anthony, you want to stand up and wave, please? Anthony, thank you very much. Now, on behalf of everybody here, the team that has been working on behalf of every one of us in the state of Minnesota, Dr. Ken Karanja will have the honor to invite Dr. Matiang'i on our behalf.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Minnesota, oye! I know. I am the one standing between you and Dr. Matiang'i. So I'm going to make this very brief before you run me out of town. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much, Dr. Matiang'i, for being here. As you all know, Dr. Matiang'i has been an exceptional public servant in the Republic of Kenya, the former administration, a man instrumental in bringing significant reform to the country. The Gen Zs here who are streaming live, this is the man who brought ICT and digital transformation against a lot of resistance. And he was tasked with that opportunity to bring that change. He is the man, if you listened yesterday, who was able to reform an education system that was bereft with cheating and negative outcomes, and he changed that ministry to one that produces graduates who in this country have provided the largest number of educated immigrants. Professor Otiso probably has that statistic. He is the man who did that. He is the man, when he was charged with securing our country, he spared no expense in making sure that we are safe. He is the man who is here seeking to hear from us. And he has said he came to listen, and he has listened. Now, having said that, we want to welcome, we all upstanding, and give a loud cheer as we welcome Dr. Fred Okengo Matiang'i to speak to us today. Thank you.
Simama, Wakenya wote simama. Simama, wewe shujaa simama.
Simama.
Nchi yangu, jukumu langu, mimi ni shujaa.
What about the Gen Z? Kayumare, Gen Z?
Matiang'i power! Matiang'i power! Matiang'i power! We are the Gen Zs, and our message is clear. Dr. Fred Okengo Matiang'i is the 6th President of the Republic of Kenya. All Gen Zs, Matiang'i power! Matiang'i power! Thank you very much.
Gen Z's power! Matiang'i, Matiang'i, the President of the Republic of Kenya is right here.
Thank you. We have a member of parliament ametoka nyumbani anaitwa Kibagendi. Si awasalamie? Amesindikisha mheshimiwa, wacha tusalamie.
Minnesota oye! Minnesota Minnesota! We are indeed very happy to be here today. Your Excellency, these are wonderful people. Minnesota has shown the rest of the United States that they can indeed come together and give you a resounding endorsement as you go to run for this seat. These are wonderful ambassadors of our culture in our country, and they are also representatives who demonstrate to the rest of the country our resilience, our enterprising culture, and everything good about Kenya. We are very, very proud of you. Keep on doing what you do. And as Dr. Fred Matiang'i goes to run for this office, you need to know that this is your candidate. Sivyo? Wangapi wanasema nduna support Fred Matiang'i? And how many of us are going to donate to Dr. Fred Matiang'i? That is important, and talk to your family and friends. Let us all rally behind Mr. Fix-It so that he can fix health, so that he can fix education, so that he can fix security, and so that he can fix Kasongo mwenyewe. Sivyo? Asanteni sana na Mwenyezi Mungu awabariki.
Makofi kwa Kibagendi. It's my humble duty to invite the CS to speak to us.
mumeuliza maswali mingi. Watu wanauliza huyu Fred Matiang'i ni nani? Tunamsoma tu. I think he'll get a chance to tell us who he is. Kama alitembea na mguu kama wengine, tukienda shule. Our young people have spoken. They are looking for some hopeful message. Sindio? Gen Z? Alafu wenzetu Kenya wanaumia. Leo hii, kabla tupige kura, tunawasaidia namna gani? There are so many experts here, people of goodwill. Tunataka pia tuitwe tuone tutasaidia nchi yetu namna gani, ama sio? Alafu tukikupatia hii kiti mheshimiwa, lakini umetosha. Sitakuuliza, najua umetosha. Asante.
Tafadhali tuketi. Thank you. Please, let's be seated. I am going to have to learn to get used to people standing for you or calling you the other things. I have been here for the last 2 days, held about 6 meetings, and I've had a very good time here. Good evening. Habari zenu. How are you? The energy and the excitement I feel in the room is very dangerous. I told you last evening that an old man friend of mine advised me that be very careful when you face an audience that is very excited, and don't be carried away. Be careful about the things you say when you are facing very excited people. I'm going to be very excited, but I'm going to be very careful, sorry. But let me start by saying this. My dear brothers and sisters, all of you wonderful people who have come here, left your work, left your schedules to be here this evening. I want you to know sincerely from the bottom of my heart, I'm very deeply humbled and I'm very grateful. Thank you so much. Our religious leaders who are here, Imam Sadiq, Pastor Spora, Pastor Ukioma, and all of you members of the clergy who are here, including those who prayed for us, I want to thank you very sincerely for your time. And all of you leaders from across this country, especially the leaders of the various organizing committees, I thank you very sincerely from the bottom of my heart. The people of Minnesota, let me say this. First of all, Mr. John McCauley, you asked me to evaluate you. I give you a straight Matiang'i A. I'm famous for very few A's, so yeah, he says I made him not to go to university. But anyway, so thank you so much. I mean, you've done a spectacular job putting all of us here, and the way you have organized is true. Yes, I've been in meetings for the last 24 hours, but I don't feel it because of the energy, the love, the commitment that I've seen here. So I want to thank you, all of you leaders from Minnesota who are here, for the wonderful work you have done. This place is very interesting. I said last night, those who were there, and Pastor, I keep, you know, I met a lot of my friends here, both boys and girls. My boyfriends and my girlfriends, and as I said last night, Pastor, don't take me to the church board. They are girls who are my friends, not, you know, English has a problem. It cannot, you know, because if this was Kiswahili, or if this was mother tongue, I would be able to tell the distinction. But you know, because in Kiswahili, I would tell you about wapenzi, and those others. But now English is weak, so it's, you know. So the girls who are your friends are your girlfriends, or they were your girlfriends, classmates. But I mean it, and you know that, Pastor. It's not in that other way you think. So, as I said, after this meeting, this is the last event I have. I am going back home. I have no intentions of going to sleep in the doghouse or in the DSQ. And my wife decides that I need to explain exactly what I meant by girlfriends. But Pastor, if I need a recommendation, you give me. Anyway, thank you so much, wonderful people. Thank you for being here. And I want to take very few minutes. First of all, I love this meeting and I love the gatherings we have had here because we have met as Kenyans. My brothers who have traveled across the country, I'm very, very grateful. I introduced Mwaura and his dear wife last night, and a number of people who have come along, who have been working with us in trying to put this together and ensuring that we begin a conversation. My friend, Dr. Onyango, Omari, and your dear wife from California, and many of you people, we've had long stories, and our lives have interacted in various ways. So I'll be played, and I'll start with a very simple story. 2 years ago, 3 years now, when we left the government, after the elections of 2022, I took up an assignment with the World Bank here in Washington, D.C. The nature of my assignment was such that I could not be allowed, under the terms of service, to come to town hall meetings like this. I kept quiet, looked out for some of my friends and my former classmates like Professor Otiso. So when you see him speaking here as a professor, that's how we were taught. That's how smart our class was. If I may brag. Then, slowly, we had this conversation about our country and so on and so forth. By last year, 2024, when demonstrations began that you guys saw, and the Gen Zs demonstrating, people asking questions. I mean, quite frankly, I began to get this pressure and questions from people. Why don't you go to public life? Why don't you come back and contribute? It became very serious. Sometimes, because I have gone home every time I had leave, because I didn't have a problem, I did not run away from my country. I never hide, bend, or shirk from responsibility. And I'm ready to answer questions anyone may have about my life. So, I met people, and some of them people I take very seriously. Walk up to you sometimes at social places, restaurants, ordinary people. I had an experience where I went to Westlands one time to have coffee with some friends of mine. I couldn't even actually sit down and have coffee because everybody, the waiters, everybody come there, they ask me, CS, mbona mnatuacha namna hii bwana? Why don't you, tunazama? And so on, things, why are you doing this? Until it now began to look like I am committing a crime if I am not going to participate in what is going on. So when some of the faith-based leaders in our country, some of whom I respect a lot, said, and all of you wonderful people will relate to this, that when people like Pastor Spora here or Imam Sadiq tell you they want to see you, they usually don't see people just like that. They usually are carrying a very heavy message because they are not ordinary people. You know who they speak for sometimes. So then they tell you, let us have a meeting. I met a number of them. They ask me now, CS, you disappointed us in 2022. We thought you were going to be on the ballot. You didn't go. So now, are you guys going to watch like this as the country goes out? So here is my first answer, Dr. Bogonko, to your questions. I am in this, and I decided after speaking to a lot of people and listening to some of you and others, that let me go and make my contribution to my country and take my experience and the years of service that I've had, the knowledge I have of government, and put my colleagues together, work together with them to try and fix some of the challenges we have in the country. So, as I stand here tonight, I bring you greetings from my colleagues whom I'm working with, the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, who is in Texas right now. Sends his regards to you. The Honorable Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka, whom we work. Honorable Martha Karua, who was here a while ago. And my brother, my friend, and my colleague in cabinet, the Honorable Eugene Wamalwa. We've been having conversations among us ourselves and many other people, on so how do we go forward from here and what do we do for our country? And when you ask me, people are saying, who am I? Where did I come from? There are people in this room. I have seen people here since I came to Minnesota. I grew up with, people I went to school with. I grew up in the village, walking to school. 5 kilometers in the morning, 5 kilometers for lunch, 5 kilometers back to school after lunch, and 5 kilometers back home in the evening. So that was like 20 kilometers a day. Because that is true. Prof, if you estimate the distance from my home to Manga Primary School is like 5 kilometers. And then I was there in primary school, we were together. I said last night I'm one of those people who does not need to go to court to get an order to prove that I went to school. Because I'm not like some people in Kenya who claim, because when I was Minister for Education, I used to tell people the easiest way to destroy a country is to begin with this rubbish about people who have got to go to court to look for court orders to prove that they went to school. Because if you went to school, how did you go to a school where you don't have a classmate, you don't have a teacher, and you are depending on a judge to make a ruling that you actually went to school. My friends, I want to tell you this. There is a way in which we have destroyed our country by this silly behavior, doing things that normal people don't do. Because you see, going to school is a black and white situation. You either went or did not go. Yeah. And I used to tell people, I am not the one who wrote the law. I believe that you can be a good leader even if you actually do not have a degree, but you wrote the law in parliament and said for you to be governor, you actually need a degree. So respect the law. As it were, you wrote the law. Because that dishonesty is a subject I will go to another day, but I can tell you this. We've had people who have actually served as governors in Kenya who did not go to university. They bought papers, they carried papers, they went to court, got some order, bribed some electoral institution, and approved them. I was the Minister for Education when the Commission for University Education one time, a candidate presented a certificate, and please, I'm not, religious leaders who are in the room, I am not looking down upon you. This guy had attended a conference of religious leaders somewhere in South America, and they gave him a certificate of participation in Spanish or Latin. Then he took it to IBC. Then they cleared it. He said it's a certificate. I did a master's. When later on they found a translator, they said, no, it says certificate of participation. This is not a degree. That's why I'm telling you, one candidate for position of governor presented a PhD certificate that she couldn't even defend. When someone asked her, what was your thesis on? She said, what is a thesis? How would you have, I mean, I know we are innovators in Kenya, but some innovation is, it's a joke, as it were. So, my brothers and sisters, so Dr. Bogongo, that's the story of my life. Grew up with all these wonderful people you see, like Professor Otiso, going to Manga Primary School. And sometimes I tell media when they challenge me and Gen Zs who are in the room, I didn't drop from Mars or from Jupiter. And I have lived this life. Simple, what you see is what you get, straightforward, raised by parents who are, materially poor but very rich in spirit and love for us and commitment. The other day, I was telling some lawyers here in a room that, and this is the last thing I will say on that particular score, that one day I will tell the whole story in full length in my book when it comes out, that I would never have gone to school or I would never have finished school without my mother. My mother is the most patient person on earth. Because this is interesting. Every day between, I think, standard 1 and standard 3, every single day I went to school, I lost my pencil. I frankly don't know how it got lost, but I lost it. Kefa is here, he can testify to that. I think in climbing trees, eating guavas in Mosoti's compound, and so on, somehow, I mean, it was some miserable thing you could not manage properly. It just gets lost. I didn't know what used to happen. And my mother worked hard. I mean, I don't know anybody in this world who's more patient. She would go to the market and sell milk, sell her wares. And every Sunday come home, she would go to the market twice a month. Once a fortnight, she would be at the marketplace. Then she buys a set of pencils. Then she comes and cuts each one of them into 3. Because she knows that I am actually going to lose that one. And every single morning, I don't know anybody more patient than that. Every single morning, she would sharpen one for me to go with to school. She tried all gymnastics to help me keep the pencil, including creating a hole here, on your collar. She cut my shirt and created a hole and told me, listen very carefully, when you're finished writing, put it back in there. When you climb the tree, it will not get lost. It will still be there. But I still lost it. I don't know. It still got disappeared. But there's no day I went to school without a pencil. She even made some string, made some marks around it, and tied the string and tied it around my neck and said, look, it will not get lost now. Even if you run, it will still be there. So come back with it in the evening. There's no day I went back home with a pencil. So that is how we grew up. I think the problem was, Kefa, as you remember, is the wavas in Mosoti's compound that were a problem. Because we would go to climb there during break time and so on, and then the damn thing gets lost and so on. But she did not stop giving me a pencil every day. So we are humble. That's why when we discuss these things about the leadership of our country, about the future of our country, that we are moving forward, we mean it. I mean, it's from here. And now, I will dedicate the next few minutes of my speech to the serious stuff, away from my troublesome pencil. Good people. About a year and a half ago, when I was about a few weeks old at the bank, I met a group of young economists, Kenyan young economists at the bank, just pumped into me as we were having tea. And then the way people get excited when they bump into me in town, oh, serious, you are here? I said, yeah, I'm here. Really, you are the one here? I said, yeah, I'm not AI generated, it's me. We said, do you mind giving us a few minutes? We would like to hear your story about public service. What do you think? I said, I have no problem. When do you want us to meet? We agreed to meet someday in the course of the week. and we were together for about 2 hours. Then they asked me, after all the stories are said and done, what are the 2 things you would like us to learn even as we work here at the bank? I told them, 1, always part for your country, fight for your country. We may have whatever challenges we have at home. We have disagreements sometimes because of politics, but our country is our collective foremost responsibility. Love your country. Don't talk your country down, because we must love our country. We have not come very far away from home to this place to talk our country down. Secondly, I told them the best thing you can do with your life, and I believe it, the best thing you can do with your life is touch someone. Go to your village, wherever you come from, Muranga, Kakamega, wherever it is. If there's an orphaned child there who cannot afford fees, save some of your lunch or whatever in the course of your stay here at the bank where you're earning dollars and pay fees for someone and affect the life of someone. And they should not be people related to you by blood or whatever. They should be people you know from your village or somewhere there. Contribute to shaping the destiny of another life. That's why God has put us here. So that then, Dr. Bogongo begins what I see basically as my vision and philosophy. We are here for service. None of us is going to live forever. We will not live eternally. Those days of biblical people like Methuselah and so on living 900 years are not there. We are going to be here for a short time. And while we are here, let us render service and serve fellow men. The greatest opportunity we have is to serve our country and to serve our fellow men. And there's nothing more nobler than to be asked to serve your country. I had the privilege of serving my country in the position of cabinet minister, and every day for the 10 years I served, every single day I thank the Lord for the opportunity he gave me to come into contact with so many Kenyans. And as I told another group last night, every day is a very humbling experience, and every day drives you to an emotional point where you find meaning in human life by touching the life of another person. Whether it is, high school students. I've narrated stories about how I went to schools, and sometimes a student will tear through the security and almost grab me, like an experience that happened one time in a school in Nyanza, and tell me, we are going to be sent home. The administrator said we are waiting for the parents' day. I have fees arrears for the last 1 year. My mother died. My grandmother, who has been supporting me, also died last holiday. And I tell the headmistress, I will pay fees for this kid. Let her stay. I used to tell my cabinet colleagues, if they asked me to assist them together from one place for someone, I told them only one condition, that you pay fees for 2 people in that school. Then I will assist you. It's about service. I believe in service, delivering service to people. And that journey of life that I had in the public service was fulfilling and very exciting. And so this is why I am having a listening conversation. So I answered your call, and the call of those many people who were asking me, sasa mbona tunazama? One religious leader I respect waited for me at the door of a hardware in Karen. I had bought some nails. I was going to find something. I was on leave. I found this bishop waiting for me there at the door. And he said, CS, I was waiting for you. Oh, I said, Bishop, I didn't know you are here. Oh, he said, I'm here. I wanted to talk to you. Number one, you disappointed us in 2022. Why? We thought you were going to be on the ballot. I said, no, but we had 2 candidates. He said, now, okay, I want to tell you this, and it's a feeling of a lot of people I talk to. Would you consider running for public office? I said, you are a man of God. Why don't you all pray about it? And then figure out what will happen. Because, I can't give you an answer directly. I need also to consult and talk to other people. And I've been talking to people about this. I'm also responding to this call and responding to this advice and support so that I make a contribution in my life, in the service and in the development of my country. So, wonderful people. When the time comes, at the right time, when we move close, I ask you for your vote. But I don't stop there. I ask you to also hold me to account. That if you are drawn enough to give me your vote, also hold me to account. Ask me questions. I liked what the Gen Zs who are here were speaking. I mean, those wonderful, clever kids. A country that is endowed like that, should we be killing these kids instead of listening to them, Jamani? Yeah? With this kind of brain, I mean, you saw here. Brilliant. And this is what you see everywhere you go in the country. Very smart people, determined to contribute to their country, very patriotic. So we are at a very interesting time. You can see what is going on in the country. I don't want to describe our problems. I believe as leaders, we should not spend time describing our problems. We should be spending more time looking for solutions on how we'll fix our problems. I believe that in the case of the diaspora in our country, we cannot only love your money without your voice. We must now have your voice. We must have your voice in the management of the affairs of the country. I have promised and I have undertaken, and you can hold me to account, that when I'm done with my consultations and I've identified the party I'm going to run on, I have promised that I will present people from the diaspora on the list of nominations from my party to the IEBC. Yeah. So that your voice can be heard. And not just for National Assembly or Senate for that matter, but for county positions. The city of Nairobi, the city county, all of you are buying apartments and properties in Nairobi. You need to participate. But again, secondly, some of you people, some of your leaders, we are working together on this petition to IBC to increase polling stations in the US to up to 15 or 20 so that you guys can vote. Because honestly speaking, let me ask you a question. Sometimes we also have to be serious. I think that is what frustrates me about public life in our country. We have to be serious. How do you expect someone to fly from Houston to go and vote in Washington? Honestly, does it make sense? Let's be serious. And what is it? In fact, when I was talking to the Deputy Chief of Mission, because I took it seriously enough, that I rang up the Deputy Chief of Mission here and I told him, my friend, we have to work together with fellow Kenyans. This is not rocket science. It's straightforward business. And these leaders, as we were discussing the other day in DMV, are willing to also negotiate with institutions, including the schools in their various areas, that will serve as polling stations, so that the cost on IBC will be lowered. So all they need is an officer and a ballot box and the ballot papers, so that these people can participate in the choice of leaders in our country. We cannot come here and tell you how we love your remittances, but we don't care for your voice. We want to hear your voice. 3, as diaspora, please work hard to ensure that your voice makes a difference and it's heard. You are the ones who know the senators, the representatives. You are the ones who know the governors here. Some of you are working with these people. You know we have a security compact with the US government, between Kenya and the US. It is you guys, some of you who now need to challenge the leaders, even here in Congress, to ask questions. Is your security assistance to Kenya being used against the lives of the people of Kenya? So that these matters are brought to the fore. Ask these questions. You are in a country where accountability is the way of public leadership. Please use that to help us. 4th, I love what was said here by one of our speakers this evening. Let us now systematize a mentorship and training program for Kenyans who are at home by the brain trust we have in the diaspora. A lot of wonderful work is going on. The other day I met a gentleman in, it's called Maura also, in Baltimore, who has a program of bringing Kenyan teachers to the US. and having them train here. And some of them, of course, have gotten jobs here and they've been able to stay, but they have created very strong partnerships. We are the foremost ambassadors of our country, and we are the foremost promoters of business with our country. I want to ask you, my brothers and sisters, let us now systematize how we get this institutional capability that we have by the numbers we have in the US to go back to our country so that we mentor, train, and help grow the talent that we have in our country. And there's much more we can do when we continue having this conversation and continue talking. In the next 8 months or 10 months, I'm going to spend time now at home having conversations, listening to Kenyans like I've listened to all of you since last night, and I've listened to Kenyans in Texas, I've listened to Kenyans in DMV, on what you would like us to do together. I am inviting you all to be part of all of us who are forming a community of believers in transforming our country so that we work together to transform our country. The challenges we face, a good number of them are man-made. There is nothing wrong with our country, but there's something wrong with some of the management we have in our country and some of the decisions that we take in our country. I gave this example yesterday. How is it? And it's very clear that all of you guys know this. When President Kibaki was sworn into office, he introduced free primary education. 1 million kids walk to school. 1 million. In fact, you have seen the clips doing rounds where President Clinton says that if there is one person he wished to meet that time, it was President Kibaki. That a new president of Kenya who introduced free education and 1 million kids walk to school. By the time President Kenyatta came into office, Kibaki's children were now ready to go into secondary school. That is why President Kenyatta spent time on 100% transition. The late Professor Magawa and I, the number of us, spent time in villages, building classrooms, fighting female genital mutilation, and ensuring that girls go to school. Everywhere where we had challenges like in Kilifi because of teenage pregnancies, I banned disco matanga because that nonsense where people go when someone has died, they go at night to dance. And then they say, oh, we must replace the one who's in the coffin tonight. You know, silly things like those, which eventually affect our children. And we worked hard through the provincial administration. I remember, for example, George Natembea, the current governor of Trans Nzoia, and a good friend of mine. Yes, he of the Tawe movement. You know, was first the county commissioner in Narok, then later regional commissioner in Rift Valley. We were terrorizing chiefs and assistant chiefs, telling a chief, if there's a girl who's going to be found in your jurisdiction who has not gone to school, you will pay for it. And drove these kids to school. Now, how is it that when we are supposed to be going forward, we want to go backwards? We reduced capitation from 22,000 to about 16 or so. It's not even going to schools. And every day is excuses upon excuses, you know. In fact, I would be forgiven if I described what we have in our country as government by excuses. You know, it started with no, it is Uhuru and his term. Then no, it's Raila and Azimio and I don't know who. Then now, oh, ni Wakikuyu wanataka kuharibu serikali. As I said the other day, next year it's going to be ni Wakizi na Wakamba wanataka kuharibu serikali. You know, so looking for someone to blame for things that we are supposed to be doing. Good people, we have challenges in our country. Some of them are man-made. Let us work on solving them. I am ready to lead the team to fix those challenges. I'm ready. Because it's true. Because this is not geophysics. This is not rocket science. These are straightforward matters where we need honesty and trust to make the decisions. As I move towards the end of my remarks this evening, I want to remind you this. In 2022, hold on a minute. In 2022, we told a lot of people, I addressed meetings where people were asking me these questions, and I told them, like I'm going to tell you today, because I have nothing to hide and you are my brothers and sisters. We either, A, stand up, be focused, and deal with the challenges in our country, or we will soon have no country. It's as simple as that. This pretense that we have had over the years, where we are told lies, musunguko wa ujeuli na uongo, and now season 2 of that is about to begin, where people are flying around the country with helicopters every Friday, in the form of empowerment, 9 helicopters this way, 9 helicopters that way, dramatizing things. Then they end up in a village, they give those poor people 64 shillings. That is not even $1. Even if you gave your mother $1, what would she do with it? Let's be serious. I mean, these jokes, our country is better than that. So that is why we are here. And I promise that working together, all of us, we will fix these challenges, bring about integrity to the management of public affairs, and also create trust. Kenyans are looking for a government they can trust. That a government that will tell you something you can take to the bank. Not a government that you are not sure what they tell you is going to work or not. Finally, some of our public servants, and a good number of you have been in the public service before. We have some of the most hardworking public service, very professional, highly competent. I know it. I have worked with the public service before. I've given this example. For the entire time I was in cabinet, I worked with about 13 or so PSS. I mean, top-notch, smart people. Some of them Harvard, were McKinsey consultants and so on. Smart people. They don't need a benevolent guy from heaven, to come and give them lectures every day and dictate them on what they are supposed to be doing. They just need to be respected, be given an opportunity to move forward. And also merit, so that people are promoted because they are qualified to do the job they are doing. Not parachuting people left, right, and center because of the ethnic communities they come from. Collecting some political stillborns and assigning them responsibility to boss around public servants. And they spend time insulting public servants every day. We are the consultants, we are the advisors. And we have reinvented the way in which public service is supposed to be run. Yet, actually, public service is what holds our country together, as it were. So, my friends, when you look at the pay slips of the public service because of a taxation and so on, even self-esteem is lost. Morale is gone. How will they deliver? We will fix this and return the morale of the public servants to work. We will respect public service and public servants and listen to them when they advise us on what we need to do. So, lastly, you've heard all these stories that you will hear from politicians. When our country is going through challenges such as we are going, some of them crazily man-made, as I said. We're importing rice. Where farmers have got rice in the stores. You'll wake up tomorrow morning, these same fellows will go to Western Kenya or someplace there and they will expect people to be singing and dancing for them. Cane farmers who have not been paid for decades, they're importing sugar. The factories are closed. Let's be honest about our country. Let us be very serious about the affairs of our country. And that is why my colleagues and I are engaged in this constant conversation. And I know that maybe before the end of the year or early next year, another one of my colleagues will come here and meet with you and continue this conversation. We want you to join us in the program and the journey of remaking our country and reclaiming our country. Don't be discouraged. I know things can go wrong. I know how it feels when you watch those pictures on TV of thugs walking side by side with uniformed police officers. People shooting at members of parliament in broad daylight, and there's no crime they have committed. They are just going to a church and going to a rally. Can you imagine if the US behaved like that? We probably would not have been sitting here. As soon as the MC started, policemen walk in. They just start chasing us around. And there's nothing we have done. We have just met and danced. And I don't know why anybody should be unhappy about our dance. Now, those are the kind of things that we are dealing with. But do not lose faith. And people constantly dividing us. This is why I have refused personally. And we all reject, and I want to invite you to reject with me, and all of us well-meaning people, the idea of dividing us into tribes, into communities, and so on. We are not a congregation of tribes in Kenya. We are a nation called Kenya. And the challenges we have do not know tribe, they do not know region. People have challenges in Siaya, in Kisumu, in Kericho, and all over the place. So when people are raising these issues, they're not raising them because of their ethnic background. They're raising genuine, serious issues that we need to work on. I promise you that I am ready to make my contribution. I am ready to lead a team that will work on remaking our country and fixing our challenges. And I promise you, I'll keep my word. Hold me to account. Ask questions. And if I am the one who's so blessed and so privileged to cross that bridge and be the one to be in that office, listening to these wonderful young people who spoke here, asking questions about what we are going to do to resolve some of those challenges, like mental health. Half of the reasons why we have mental health problems in our country is because of the ecosystem and the environment in which we live. If you graduated 6 years ago, you have no job, your brother has no job, your sister has no job, your mom has no job, your father is earning a miserable salary, paying SHA, paying housing, a house you will never go into. How will you remain sane? Yeah, I'm asking you, how will you remain sane? That's why we're having these challenges. The anguish, our young people are going into these issues because of the challenges we have in the country. So the first solution to this problem is to fix the problems of the country so that our young people, we can get investment into our country, we can get private sector involved in our investment and creating employment for our young people. Then we will deal with these challenges. Then their self-esteem will come back, their dignity will come back. And that is what I pledge to do and I would like to do, so that we build trust in a transparent government. Finally, I ask you to keep the faith. Do not be discouraged by these momentary challenges. By God's grace, we will cross that bridge together. And when we do, we will fix the challenges of our country. Have hope that the better days of our country are ahead. And I am asking that we all join together as we walk on that journey to a better future as a country where we will be united, live together, be transparent, build trust in our country again. My item number one, if I got that opportunity, will be beginning on a program of healing the nation. Because our country is suffering from divisions and all this pain. But I believe it. I believe it in my heart. We will get there and we will solve these challenges together and we will fix our challenges as a country. There is nothing we cannot do with the capacity that we have. There is nothing that Kenya cannot achieve when we are committed as we are all the time. So by the grace of God, let's keep the faith, stay on course, and I count on you for prayers, for support, and also for counsel and advice, and for holding me to account as we lead that trip forward. May God bless you.
Fomu ni Matiangi. Fomu ni Matiangi. Fomu ni nani? Fomu ni nani? This road, fomu ni nani? In the middle, fomu ni nani? That one, fomu ni nani? Ogoro, fomu ni nani? Hasli, fomu ni nani? Aya baba Matiangi ni nani? Amen. Next.
housekeeping staff. Remain seated, please. Anyway, thank you all. On behalf of the organizing committee, and all Kenyans here in the state of Minnesota, we want to say a big vote of thanks to the guest, Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i, for coming in. Thank you, the delegates who came all the way from Kenya, those ones who came from across the country. Thank you so much. Of course, we can't thank you all again for the committee for the hard work you did, the dancers here. And because of the pressure of time and schedule, the CS is on his way out. So I'll ask the pastor, Pastor Ezra, if you could please come here and say the last prayer. So please remain standing. Let's have a prayer before we head out.
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this wonderful experience today. And thank you for leading through this meeting. Thank you for leading our speakers. And it's about time now to go for action. We pray for wisdom, courage, and strength for Fred Matiang'i as he goes forward together with us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now you can head out or you can hang around for some time, and the CS is here.
While the CS is going away, tafadhali ngoja kidogo. Kuna watu walikuwa napewa pesa ya bure kutoka Lemfi. Sinimuite watu wa Lemfi waseme tutapata hiyo pesa namna gani? One of our sponsors